Hello. Well, I'm going to do one of my videos in the car again. Basically, busy, weather, blah, blah, blah. Sorry I haven't been putting them up, but is what it is. Well, to those who've been here before, welcome back. Those who've never been here, welcome. Generally speaking, I like to do the disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. Damn sure not a money man. So if you're looking for advice, shrug off. You'll find none here. But we do talk about things, or I do talk about things that, well, I have conversations about. And one of the ones I want to talk about today is the L to the G to the B to the T plus 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 plus, the alphabet mafia. The whole thing's just ridiculous. It really is. Give me a second here. So, you've got these four letters that have become probably the most powerful political force in the United States. Especially the last of the letters, the T. We'll get to that. But generally speaking, I mean, wow, the power they have. They can walk around naked in the streets doing some pretty rude things to each other. Things that generally, if they were doing them in their own house behind doors and this and that, nobody would give two shakes of a care. But stuff they're doing out in the streets, but they can get away with it because they have the alphabet mafia on their side. The group of people that basically they call out for tolerance, but are absolutely intolerant if you're not 100% on their side. In other words, you don't agree with them 100%. Which really is just ridiculous because I don't agree with anybody 100%, so I guess I'm already on the bad side of all that. A little hot in the car. Humidity's up. So, let's go over the letters real quick. Okay. First, you've got the L. L is for lesbian. Now, these are not people from the Greek Isle of Lesbos. Matter of fact, from what I've heard, the people in the Greek Isle of Lesbos are bothered by lesbians being called lesbians because it paints them all as lesbians, which they're lesbians, but they're not. And maybe some of them are, I don't know what percent. But generally speaking, they're not terribly pleased. But at the same time, lesbian, woman on woman, intercourse. Generally speaking, I think you'll find a large percentage of America isn't troubled by it. I think those troubled by it are the women who are not, more so than the men who are not. Now, the men who are not, it's because they want to get in between them. I mean, come on. What guy, if he's got two ladies that both are showing some interest in him, wouldn't try and get them together? Okay? Kind of talking around it a little bit, but I myself have had situations where I've been like, hey, what do you think? Didn't turn out. But nonetheless, I did try. As I've spoke with many other men, some have been successful, others have tried. So, we generally know what that is. Now, the next one's a bit troublesome. That's the G. Now, lesbian, gay. Okay, so the gays. I guess that's supposed to be men, but aren't lesbians gay? So it kind of really makes no sense. It's not the definitive title that they try to make it out to be. You know, oh, well, he's gay. Well, so is she. So, you know what I mean? What's the sense of that? You know? Now, honestly, there were other titles that gay men had. One that's in reference to a pile of sticks. I think is probably the most appropriate, because think about it, pile of sticks. So anyhow, the G doesn't make sense. So why they even have it, I have no clue. Next comes the B. This is bisexual. In other words, not picking a team. Basically, they're up for whatever. And so they'll take the sausage as well as the pocket. So pickle, pocket, they don't matter. They'll take them both. They'll take a poking as well as give a poking. That's their prerogative. I kind of think that's a bit much personally. You know what I mean? It's like, woo, whatever. No, I'm not a whatever person. But at the same time, live and let die. So they want to be who they are. And God bless you, pumpkin. You just go about your business. Ain't part of my game. I ain't playing it. And then comes the T. Dun, dun, dun. So, the T is, I guess, transgender. Not transsexual, not transvestite. Generally speaking, they're gay men living as women, or gay women living as men. So, doesn't that kind of put them back into the L and the G? But because they dress differently or appear differently, now they're not L or G? Is it that they don't qualify, or they're overqualified? I'm guessing they're overqualified. And honestly, there are other letters. There's Q, that's for queer, which is funny because that used to be a derogatory. So now things have changed and it's no longer derogatory. So you got them, and what's the other ones? These are all superfluous because I guess there's like 800 of them or something. So there's I, intersectional. I think is for asexual, which I don't know anybody who has been able to reproduce on their own other than the story of one lady. And a lot of people doubt that, as many as do believe it. But generally speaking, since then, there's been no stories of somebody procreating all alone without some sort of interaction with another human. So they can't be asexual. I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever. Makes even less sense than calling everybody gay and expecting us to think it's just men. Or transsexual, where they're transgender, where they're basically gay but dressing differently. And then there's Two-spirit. That makes even less sense than everything else we've said so far. Two-spirit. You're one person with two spirits in your body? It sounds a little psycho. Generally speaking, no. Okay, supposedly that's an Indian thing. I don't think Indians equated spirits with sexuality. I've never heard until basically this two-spirit thing came up. Apparently there was a tribe somewhere where two spirits. So, you got this alphabet soup, and as long as you're a member of the team, which I think you have to have blue, yellow, green, red, purple hair to be a member. I don't know. I see a lot of people with that, and that's what I think is they're a member of the team. Now, generally speaking, I don't care. I really don't. But if you're going to have these titles, does that mean it's okay for me to now say, oh, where is that lesbian? I doubt they'd want to be known as the lesbian, but nonetheless, where is the lesbian? Where is the gay? Where is the bisexual? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, Who was supposed to be filling these shoes today? Oh, it was a lesbian. Or, oh, it was a transgender. No. Bill, Sue, Bob, whatever. Look at that. Okay, so generally speaking, does that mean now it's okay to refer to people like that? So now can I go, queer? Come here, queer. Yeah, I doubt it. You probably get upset. They would. You know what I mean? They'd be like, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm sure. But hey, you want the pronouns, you want the labels. What if we just started using those labels? And nothing but those labels. Think how upset they would be. Honestly, maybe we should try it. Don't get me wrong, it's not really nice to call people names. But if they choose those titles, that's theirs. So, generally speaking, this whole alphabet soup thing makes no sense. It's just stupid. And I feel bad for those people who go, oh, I'm part of the community. Lesbian once told me that one day. Oh, it's a very diverse community. And I turned to her and said, it has no limits. Only people not welcome in it are basically people who don't agree with it. They don't want to be in it anyhow. So everybody else is. And this creates how can I put it? The false appearance of preference. In other words, that people want that. You know what I mean? Hopefully you do. But generally, it's not as common as they are painting it. It's a small majority. Which is funny for a small majority to have such power, dude. It really is. I mean, dude, there's no question. Like I said, they're the most powerful political people right now. Even more so than the blacks, which are a very powerful group of people, politically speaking. They stomp their feet, they cry, they get everything, money thrown at them. I mean, look at Black Lives Matter. Had millions, damn near $100 million thrown at them. Didn't do anything to help anybody, but man, are they rich. Which we hate rich people, unless they're Black Lives Matter, and then that's all good. We're good with that. Tax evasion, don't worry about it. They're black. And at that, they're blacks who have a lot of money, so we wouldn't bother them. Now, I got no issue with a black man having a lot of money or a black woman having a lot of money. God bless them. Same as any other ethnic group. Race and ethnic group. But generally speaking, the power of the L and the G to the B to the T is undeserved. Okay. Let's say the fire in Hawaii. Have you heard any word of any of these LGBTQ groups getting together, going over there, bringing food, water, helping these people with their situation? No. Now, you do hear a lot about Christian ministries going over there and just people in general of good nature, but it's not the L to the G to the B to the T in the community aspect. Why? Because it's bullshit. They're not a community. Okay? A community is not just a group of people who are like-minded. Actually, that would be a race. Look it up. Hold on a minute. I want to get a look at this one. Somebody on that one. She's a good-looking lady. Don't want to embarrass her. That's why I'm being quiet. But generally speaking, they're not doing anything beneficial. You know what I mean? During the hurricanes that come through Florida, not once have I seen a group of people who are like, yeah, we're with the local community of LGBT, and we brought in blue tarps for everybody, so this way they can fix up their roof so they can stay in their house. No, never saw that. Not once. Nope. generally speaking, you don't see them as a community donating large sums of money. Now, at the same time, we've seen other groups out there, but they're not to the L to the G to the B to the T. So why do we give them so much power? I mean, generally speaking, they're just people. Okay, they have sexual proclivities, none of which do I care to know about. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, if I'm trying to hook up with a chick, she tells me I'm lesbian, I'd be like, can I get in the middle? Now, it's probably not going to get me in the middle, but nonetheless, I'm going to try. But still, the point's the same. You know what I mean? It's not a community. You can't tell who they are other than the T's. You can't tell who they are just walking up. If they don't say anything, don't do anything, there's no way to know. Alright? And don't get me wrong, a lot of times there's not many ways to know of those who have communities that do help, such as the Christians, because they just look like normal people, just like everybody else. So I gotta say, how do we take away the power of the L to the G to the B to the T? I think the simple answer, as crazy as it is to just point out the obvious. They're not a community. They're not out here as a community doing anything. I mean, they're just not a community. And if we start pointing that out and they say, oh, well, we're a community. Well, look, we get together in bars and get drunk and have sex. Well, that's not really a community. That's just a Friday night. You know, oh, well, we're a community. All right. You're a community? What's the address for this community? What's the location of it? What state will we find you mainly in? None. Because generally speaking, they're just Americans who have sexual proclivities of whatever type. So let's start working on taking away their power. Okay? They really have none. It's just the power we give them. So let's stop giving them the power. Okay? Because they don't have it. They don't need it. It's just politicians using them to gain their power. It's not that the L to the B to the G to the T have any power at all. Not in the least. Oh, she's even hotter. Oh, and she's got some sort of Asian going on. Ooh, she's hot. A busty Asian with good hips. That's not a prejudice thing. It's just an observation. But generally speaking, I think if we start questioning these politicians as to the community itself, as in, i.e., where are they? You know, why haven't we seen them? I think that would take a lot of their power away. I mean, think about it. You know, politician says, well, you know, we have to protect the LGBT. Why? They haven't helped anybody in the hurricanes. It's not like they're donating the most money or anything. Generally speaking, I mean, just ask the questions. You know, what are we protecting them from? Abuse. Isn't that what the law already does? You're not allowed to beat up somebody for no reason or anything like that. Just if we start asking questions about their community and why they should be treated any different than anybody else, maybe we'll sort out this thing and take away some of their power. Alright, well, that's kind of a briefer one. I haven't put one out, and we're still working on getting with the nice trade person that I was telling you about. We've had some weather here, so. But generally speaking, I hope I made a point. I hope you got it. Hope you enjoyed my little rant. And I hope you'll click the like and subscribe button and possibly even share. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I got no issue with that. If you agree with me, yay. It's all the same to me. My opinions aren't influenced by somebody disagreeing or agreeing with me. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go check my laundry. But with that and me checking my laundry, that means I'm out of here. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks, as always. I appreciate your time because it's one thing you have you can't replace. So with that, until next time.